Hey guys, thanks for being here. We are back. Thank y'all for joining. Y'all, pardon me for being off camera. Okay, let's get into our video. Thank you all for being here. I see my top flights are here. This is a quick pop in. We will not hold you guys long. Of course, everything said in the video is alleged and in my opinion and is used for fair use and entertainment. We have an update on this Chrisean Rock news with Junior that I ran across. So let's go ahead and share that with you guys. Okay, let's go ahead and share that. Doesn't seem like Chrisean is taking very good care of this baby. Now I heard rumors that CPS stepped in and took him temporarily because of some things that was noticed and or reported. But let's get into this. They're saying prayers up for Junior. Shout out to No Skips T. And I like to report from them too, because most of the time, if not all the time, they are reputable in their reporting. So let's get into this. They're saying that Chrisean's church member allegedly says that Junior has bed sores, no genitals, and a bad smell after rumors that CPS took him. So it looks like Chrisean is not properly bathing Junior. She even goes into talking about how he was always scratching, like he hadn't had a bath, or that he was like real itchy, and that they noticed some very alarming things down below with Junior. So she was supposed to get some other surgery with him, and they're saying that she did not get it done. But Chrisean is just, I don't know, I think her attention is focused on this boxing match coming up in this month. She's also focused on boys and boyfriends and social media and fighting with her sisters, and you name it. she is focused on everything but Junior. Okay, now I'm not saying she doesn't love him, but just some of the things that we've been hearing going on with this baby is just when I heard this, it kind of broke my heart, because I'm like, oh my God, he's a helpless child that really needs to be in an environment where he's getting the necessary help he needs, especially medically. He definitely needs braces on his legs, and among other things that we've seen, because he does have club foot and all these other things that I've seen. It's just, I mean, as a mom, my heart kind of goes out. But it says that Junior does not said that Chrisean does not want Junior to make it. I hope that's not the case. But let's get into this video. Wow. Let me put on my trigger for this one, because OMG, this really makes me sad. But we got to talk about it.
Got bed sores. His hands and feet are tender. He don't have no genitals. He stink and he smells like, oh my gosh, y'all. I done went and looked at and deep dive into some investigation in them clips y'all was tagging me in about that lady from the church, the same church that Chrisean goes to. She called CPS, girl. Let's get into it. This might be a couple parts, because yeah, I ain't even finished watching the whole thing. So she got on there crying. I'm talking about boo-hoo, crying, because she was saying like she ain't never seen no shit like that in her days. Like, she was saying that she don't bathe him. He was getting whole baths, like in the sink, wasn't getting no real bath for real. Saying that when they seen his genitals, it was almost as if it wasn't even there. The hernia is still there. I've been told y'all that he was gonna need reconstruction surgery. He was gonna need multiple. Also, she was saying that they had to go out and buy him things, clean clothes and stuff like that right there, because she would literally have him in the same shit, have his diaper soiled, all this extra stuff. And then she was like, she noticed like bruises on his back, and then people think that he's scratching because he got like a diaper rash or something. Them might be motherfucking bed sores, bitch. I don't know. This shit is insane. But to the point of, she said she called CPS and that Chrisean had begged and pleaded for them not to let them in the church. I'm like, oh hell no. And then they said they had shunned her and everything, and literally embarrassed her and made her feel worthless. Like, it's just so sad. What do y'all believe though? Do y'all think this is true? I feel like I believe it. I don't even care. Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna finish watching the rest of it. More developing. He got
But y'all remember when we what was it? I think it's a video that I shared where y'all remember when Chrisean was said to be staying in her car and Junior was in the back seat and she went live, and he was real antsy and he was like real whiny. And he was just kind of like moving around. You know how kids are when they're uncomfortable? Like, he was moving like he had soiled his diaper. And she just kind of turned around and like looked at him in the back, and then she turned around and kept talking in the camera. It appeared that maybe he had number two'd on himself, and instead of her getting off live to like go and change him, she just kept talking. And several lives you heard her like on live talking to other people, looking at the camera, and he will be kind of whiny, and it sounded like something may have been wrong with him, but she would ignore him. A few times he would fall. You heard like a thud in the background where he maybe had fallen or something like that. And she just sat there on live and kept talking. Now, we do know when she was dating the guy, what is his name? I can't remember his name. Anyway, the guy that was with Masika. Okay, I don't know why I can't remember his name right now, but he was talking about when he was with Chrisean and they were staying in, from hotel to hotel. He was talking about how Junior fell off the bed in the hotel behind the bed, and Chrisean didn't even go pick him up. Like, he had to go and pick him up off the floor, and he was crying. So I don't know what is going on with Chrisean. Like, has she given up in terms of wanting to be a mom to this child? Is this child just for publicity, for her to go on live to, get attention or whatever, while he's suffering in silence behind the scenes? I told you guys the other day that there were multiple calls that went out to CPS from hearing all of these things going on with this baby when she goes live with him, how she's eating like huge plates of food and he's just like sitting there. She's not trying to feed him. Like, it's crazy. I don't know. I really don't know. If CPS did step in, and typically I don't like CPS just take somebody's kids unless they need to be removed. But in this instance right here, I really feel like he should be in a loving home with someone that's a little bit more experienced in motherhood and knows how to handle kids, and give him, baths and stuff like that every day. Try to assist him in eating, putting him in the necessary programs that he needs to be in so that he can start developing and progressing. Like, we keep seeing him like stagnant. And I feel like it's because she hasn't accepted the fact that he does have some disabilities. He is special needs. And anytime somebody say to her that he has like a disability or he's special needs, she gets mad. I showed y'all the interview where the guy in the interview was asking her, do you think that he has some problems? No, I rebuke that. And Jesus, God said that, that you speak whatever and I get all of that. I get the biblical sense. I get that, you speak things into existence, and, you don't want to speak that over your child. But when you visually see your child in certain circumstances, you don't ignore that. And then saying that you don't believe, she even said in the interview, you don't believe what the doctor said. If the doctor tell you that, you don't believe that the doctor tell you something negative about your child. Well, doctors go to school for lots of years in order to be able to diagnose your child. So it's no different than if she got sick. Would she not believe what a doctor told her if she got so sick and needed to see a doctor? So why neglect your child getting that same need or assistance that he needs? It really makes me so mad. But in this instance, I kind of hope that CPS does step in and do what needs to be done. Like, this baby is getting ready to be 3 years old this year, and it's just like still the same thing. And if people are saying they're seeing this baby scratching like this and uncomfortable and whiny, they're seeing bruises on his back because he's scratching excessively, like that's some red flags that needs to be addressed. If she's not changing him properly because he has rashes and things like that below, that shows that he's not properly being changed. If he's soiling himself and he's sitting in it for quite some time, he's going to have rashes. It's the same if he urinates on himself in those Pampers, because he is still wearing Pampers, then he will definitely develop rashes, and that can be uncomfortable for him, especially if he's sitting in a car seat or a stroller for hours on end. Okay, he's sitting in car seats and strollers while she's training for hours in the gym. Like, something definitely needs to be done. But shout out to No Skips T for putting that information out there. Let's move along. Oh, I really hate that, because he's such a cute kid. He really deserves better than that. So let's get into this Chile news from TLC. We got update on that. Chile's been caught, they're saying, scrubbing her social media since this whole exposure of her being or possibly being MAGA. So shout out to Bala Alert. They're saying that Chile is quietly cleaning up her MAGA likes after Trump posts are starting to circulate. Okay, let's go ahead and read up first, and then we'll show you guys the pictures. Now, it says that Chile's questionable Instagram likes have turned into a new scandal that the internet refuses to forget. Now, the TLC singer recently removed likes from multiple posts tied to Donald Trump's 2024 election win. but the screenshots were already outside. Now it says that the post came from ATL Scoop, an Atlanta-based Instagram page that she follows. It says that Chile frequently interacted with the blog's coverage of the election. Now, which that is kind of contrary to what she said the other day when she initially came out and did this apology when she got caught being fake MAGA. She was saying, I'm not even on social media like that. I'm not even, I'm not even, I think she was saying she didn't really know how to work social media and all of that. I'm not, well-versed on how this works or how that works, but you were commenting a whole lot. You were giving donations like she was doing the most. So I think she doesn't want to be canceled or maybe, mess up her money or her tour coming up for TLC. So let's continue. It said that while some likes disappeared, others stayed up. It says that, and that mix is what has people paying attention. Now, according to reporting from Midas Touch. I'm sorry. Chile also engaged with at least 35 mega related posts from Brian Donalds over several years before quietly unfollowing him. It said that her activity stretches back to 2022 and runs through 2026, touching everything from Georgia politics to national headlines. Now, in 2024, she commented on the Trump-Biden debate, writing that should definitely have an audience shaking my head. Says when someone suggested that President Biden avoided a crowd, she replied, well, I can imagine why. And they should leave the mics on and have two moderators, liberal and conservative. Okay. It goes on to say that the timeline includes likes tied to J.D. Vance's selection, Trump's rallies, and even a post about a mural of Kamala Harris being painted over after her loss. It says that so while a high profile likes got cleaned up, it says that the broader pattern stayed visible. It says that contrast is exactly why the conversation hadn't slowed down. Meanwhile, Chile has maintained that she did not, take the post down. But let's go ahead and take a look at this. Shout out to Bala Alert. So here's the initial post where you see Chile is liking the post with Trump. It says that Donald Trump will become the 47th president of the United States. You see here, Chile likes the post, and this is her in yellow where they highlighted it. But then when you go and look at it again, she has removed her like since then from the ATL Scoop, okay, after she got called out for being a Trump supporter and being a MAGA, okay, or acting like she was trying to be MAGA. So here she is, ATL Scoop. They have it there. It says, Chile says that I should definitely have an audience shaking my head. This person says that Biden didn't want it. Then Chile came back saying that at this person who said Biden didn't want it says, well, I can imagine why. And they should leave the mics on and have two moderators, liberals and conservatives. So let's continue. So here she's bigging up J.D. Vance, okay? Says Donald Trump has selected Ohio Senator J.D. Vance as his running mate. So right here you see Chile again, the real Chile, who said that she's hardly ever on social media and she doesn't even know how to work certain computers and stuff like that, but she knew how to work them these days when she came on liking all of these MAGA posts. So it says that like by Chile, you guys see that ATL Scoop says that Trump has chosen J.D. Vance, the 39th, as his vice president. So she likes that post, which we already know after Tlc'S also came forward to say that Chile was a Trump supporter, and she was still trying to deny all of that as well. But let's get into this. You guys can see here where after Kamala Harris lost the election and they started painting over her mural, here's Chile liking the actual act, okay? Liking the picture. Says she's West End, and then I'm not sure what else it says, but she's actually liking the post where they're painting over Kamala Harris's face. Y'all see that? So she is doing the absolute most. But Tlc'S did actually do an interview. I think it was with the Breakfast Club a while back, where she says that she's not proud that her bandmate is a true Trump supporter. And Chile was, she was kind of looking at her like, why'd you tell that? I guess she wanted to be a quiet Trump supporter. But now that all of this have come out, and show that she has given many donations towards Trump actually getting into office. A lot of people are side-eyeing her, and they're like, girl, you acting like you act like Nicki Minaj out here. You acting MAGA. You acting like you ain't got no sense out here. But, of course, she can support whoever she wants to, but don't try to go and be deleting posts and trying to act like you weren't in full support of this person when you really were. All right. She's gonna mess around and get canceled, child. She's gonna mess around and get canceled. Another person, speaking of canceled, let's get into this person who's been canceled now for quite some time. Ain't nobody really checking for him, but he decided that he wanted to try to sue Ricky Smiley, and it kind of backfired on him. So Brian Mcknight, shout out to the Jasmine brand, Brian Mcknight faces legal pushback as Urban One says that he can't prove defamation in the Ricky Smiley Morning Show lawsuit. So let's get into that because he was bragging about how he's suing Ricky Smiley. We really haven't heard Ricky Smiley talking too much about this, if any. Of course, you know, when you're in a lawsuit, you don't really talk too much. You kind of let the legal system do what they do. But Brian McKnight was kind of braggadocious in several posts that he was suing Ricky Smiley and Urban One. So let's get into it. Radio platform Urban One is pushing back hard against Brian McKnight, asking a federal judge to dismiss his latest defamation lawsuit tied to an on-air interview or on-air interviews about his personal life. It goes on to say that according to a newly filed motion, the company urges the singer's claims back legal standing. I'm sorry. Let me read that again. According to a newly filed motion, the company urges or argues, I'm talking about urges, argues the singer's claims back legal standing, stemming from segments aired on the Ricky Smiley Morning Show and a North Carolina station. It says that the lawsuit centers on comments made by his ex-wife, Julie Mcknight, and clips from his son. Y'all know he keeps trying to sue his ex-wife, Julie Mcknight. Of course, it's no coincidence that she's tied to this alleged interview, and he's trying to go after Ricky Smiley and this radio station as well as his ex-wife. It says that the Miss Clark statement identified by plaintiff cannot reasonably be interpreted as stating actual facts about the plaintiff, wrote attorney Lauren Nichols. It says that the alleged defamatory statements are not truly factual statements. Most are merely questions, and any statement not solely a question is at most an expression of opinion. Okay. You have to be very, very creative when you're talking about something. If you're not sure about it, just say, in my opinion, I feel like this, versus just making it a statement in terms of, oh, I stand on this and this is exactly what it is, or this is, you know, what I see it to be, versus saying, hey, I feel like. You have to put words in there like, I feel like it could be, or it appears to be, you know, words like that, so that you don't wind up finding yourself in a lawsuit where a person can say that you defamed them. So it says that Urban One also maintains that McKnight fails to prove actual malice, a key requirement for public figures. And defamation lawsuits are very hard to prove. You got to have like concrete evidence, like lots of evidence to support all allegations that you are filing for. And if you don't have those, then you pretty much will get laughed out of court or your case will get thrown out. So it said that even assuming the statements made by Urban One were indeed statements of actual fact, not opinion, or was it hyperbole? It says that and could be defamatory. They cannot. Said plaintiff does not allege any facts that Urban One knew the statements were false, said the motion states. So the company is urging that the court dismiss the case before it even proceeds any further. So it doesn't look like Brian McKnight's case is going to get off the ground, where he's trying to sue Ricky Smiley, his morning show, as well as Urban One, and also in direct connection to his ex-wife, Julie Mcknight. He is full of shit. I'm so sick of him. Like, oh my God, Brian. Oh my God. Let it go already. Okay. Shout out to Ricky Smiley for this, I guess, legal win so far. Who knows if Brian McKnight will continue to try to proceed with this lawsuit, or if he'll try to take a different direction to continue to try to sue Ricky Smiley and everyone else that he feels defamed him in some type of way. Who knows? All right. Who knows? So you guys see here, Brian McKnight files a defamation lawsuit against Ricky Smiley Morning Show over claims that he was emotionally abusive to his children. Well, you were. Your own children spoke out and said that you were. Like your own so how are you filing a lawsuit against someone when your own kids came out to talk about how you mistreated them against your now wife's kids? Your own sons, your own daughter came out to talk about how you mistreated them. So you're filing this lawsuit. It's going to be very hard for you to win a lawsuit when your own children are speaking up on the behaviors that you found yourself in directly connected to them that were negative. So if you sue anybody, sue your damn self. I just don't get it with him. He's psycho, allegedly. Okay. And in my opinion, it's giving psycho behavior. But I don't know. Okay. Maybe this is why he's getting canceled. Maybe this is why he's not selling out arenas anymore, from what they're saying. I know they were saying several shows and places that he was supposed to perform, he wasn't selling tickets, and a lot of those shows had to be canceled because enough tickets weren't sold in certain venues that he was booked to perform in. I know a college that he was supposed to perform in, they've also canceled him and did not want him to perform. So he's kind of losing gigs and losing money. And venues are shutting him down from not being able to perform because of all the backlash and things that's been going on in the media. So you guys let me know what y'all think about this. He is something else, y'all. Brian Mcknight is something else. That is the last post that I have for this video. Please don't forget to like this video. Let me know what you guys think about the topics we discussed. Chrisean Rock, the news that we talked about with Junior. Let me also know what y'all think about Chile out here deleting and taking down posts since this whole MAGA uncover has taken place with her. Let me also know what y'all think about Brian Mcknight's case against Ricky Smiley and the radio station being on pause or possibly being thrown out for defamation. Okay, that is it, and that is all. Thank you to my top flight mods for modding, doing such an awesome job. Tiffany Thomas, Rose Armstead, and Truth TV Podcast. Thank you so much to any content creators that joined us live. Of course, all my Caramelians. Shout out to all 130 in the chat as well as in the bushes. You guys have a wonderful night. If y'all are going out tonight, please be safe. If you're drinking tonight, please have a Uber, honey, or get an Uber or Lyft or a designated driver, a friend or someone to drive you home. All right. You guys be safe. Love you guys down until the next video. Let's get out of here. Let's get y'all some music, honey. Y'all can bounce to. All right. Something upbeat. All right. Bye.